All right, let's talk about business software. That stuff that's supposed to make our lives easier, but often feels, well, clunky, complicated, and let's be honest, a huge headache. Today, we're going to look at how one company, BigLedger, is trying to completely flip the script on how we think about these systems, especially for businesses trying to navigate some really big changes happening right now in Southeast Asia.
So let me ask you this straight up. Does your software feel like it's a co-pilot helping you fly higher? Or does it feel more like a big, heavy anchor you're dragging behind you? If you've ever felt that frustration of having different systems that refuse to talk to each other, you are definitely not alone.
And that feeling, that frustration, it really gets to the heart of the modern business challenge. I mean, the world is moving at lightning speed, but so much of the software out there just feels like it's stuck in the past. And that feeling, it creates this trifecta of pain, right? Your data's all over the place, your team is stuck doing manual, repetitive tasks, and because you can't see the whole picture, making big decisions takes forever. Now, those giant traditional ERP systems were supposed to be the solution, but for a lot of companies, they just became another part of the problem, another rigid, complicated box to be trapped in. So, if that's the problem, what's the solution? Well, BigLedger's whole idea is built on a totally different philosophy, and it's one that's inspired not by old, clunky enterprise software, but by the super smooth, easy-to-use apps that we all have on our phones. I love this quote from one of their early briefings because it just clicks. Think about it. What if you could take the social connection of a Facebook, the simple file sharing of a Dropbox, and the professional network of a LinkedIn and mash them all together to run your business? That's the vision. And that vision creates a really clear choice. You've got the old way, which was monolithic, one giant rigid system that forced you to work its way. And then you have the BigLedger way, which is what they call composable. Instead of one huge slab of concrete, think of it like a set of Legos. They call them applets, small, focused apps for things like inventory or sales that you can snap together to build the exact system you actually need. It's all about flexibility. But wait a minute. If you've got all these different little apps, how do you stop them from just becoming new data silos all over again? Great question. The answer is the technology that sits underneath it all, something they call a unified data lake. So what the heck is a data lake? Well, unlike a normal database that's super picky about how data is formatted, a data lake is like a real lake. You can pour anything into it. Spreadsheets, emails, sales numbers, sensor data from your factory floor, it all goes into one central place. And what that gives you is a single source of truth. No more arguing over which version of the sales report is the right one. Everything is in one spot. And here's how it works in practice. It's pretty simple, really. First, you just connect all your systems, your online store, your accounting app, whatever you're using. Second, all the information from those places just naturally flows into that central lake. And then the magic happens. You unlock real-time insights. For maybe the first time, you can see exactly what's happening across your entire business right now. Okay, so a composable platform and a data lake. It all sounds cool, but let's make it real. How does this actually help a business owner, say in Malaysia, deal with the problems they're facing today? Let's get concrete with two huge examples. First up, the big one. We're talking about the mandatory national e-invoicing rollout from the LHDN, Malaysia's tax authority. And let me be clear, this is not a suggestion. It's a fundamental change to how every single business in the country has to handle its invoicing. And the clock is ticking. By July 1st, 2025, everybody needs to be compliant. That deadline is coming up way faster than you think, and if you're not ready, it's going to cause some serious problems. This is where you really want to know you're working with the right partner. BigLedger isn't just some random company offering a fix. They are officially an accredited provider by MDEC, the Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation. What that means for you is that their system is pre-built to talk directly to the government's official platform. It's designed to make compliance, well, seamless. It takes that whole headache away. Now, the second big challenge is a little more forward-looking, but it is just as crucial. It's all about getting ready for what everyone is calling Industry 4.0. This is basically the next industrial revolution, and it's all about digital transformation. At its core, Industry 4.0 is about creating smart factories and smart supply chains where everything is connected. Your machines, your software, your people. It's about using all that data you're collecting to become faster, smarter, and way more efficient. Honestly, to stay competitive in the years ahead, this is where things are headed. And look, this isn't just BigLedger patting themselves on the back. This is third-party validation from the Federation of Malaysian Manufacturers. Their index shows that BigLedger is a recognized provider across the board for AI, automation, big data, cloud computing, you name it. They're recognized as having the tools needed for this transformation. So when you put it all together, the philosophy, the tech, the real-world problems it solves, let's just pull back for a second and look at the big picture. Is your business really set up for what's coming next? It really boils down to three key things. First, you get a flexible, composable platform that you build yourself with those little applets. Second, you get that unified data lake, so you finally have one single source of truth to make smart decisions. And third, you get a system that's ready for the future, ready for immediate deadlines like e-invoicing, and ready for the big shifts like Industry 4.0. So, I'll leave you with this one last question to chew on. In a world that's changing this fast, is the technology that got you to where you are today really the same technology that's going to get you where you need to be tomorrow? It's a big question to think about. Thanks for tuning in.